Welcome back, Weirdlings. And if you're new here, welcome to Weird Wikipedia. Today's video is about the sitcom $! My dad says. Or shit, my dad says. In my last video, I mentioned that the one following it would be about the 3DO. However, I have since added this sitcom to my Google Docs thing, and since I'm going in alphabetical order and Google Docs places symbols like the $ before numbers, I'm doing this one first. This somehow isn't on the Unusual Articles Wikipedia page, but the short description I've come up with is: this is the shit show you get when you base a TV show on a Twitter page. This is my first video about a TV series, so I hope you enjoy a slightly different format, even though it's not that much different. The only thing that's different is that I'll go through the episodes one by one. So sit back, eat some Chicago dogs, and enjoy the video. And expect to hear me say the word shit a lot. Okay, I feel like I should explain what a sitcom is. So, a sitcom, which is short for situational comedy, is a type of comedy centered on a fixed set of characters who mostly carry over from episode to episode. And sitcoms started in the 1920s on the radio, but have mostly moved over to television by now. Sitcoms are sometimes recorded in front of a live studio audience. For example, I Love Lucy and Full House.
And his name is John Stamos!
Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to.
And if they weren't recorded in front of a studio audience, they'll use a laugh track. For example, the Beverly Hillbillies and the Big Bang Theory. Bazinga! The term sitcom wasn't commonly used until the 1950s. The show, regarded as the first sitcom on television, was Penright's Progress, which first aired on the BBC in 1946. Later in the US, director William Asher would be considered the man who invented the sitcom, as he directed multiple popular sitcoms between the 1950s and 1970s. Now, with that short description over, it is time to jump into the general information about the show. So, Shit My Dad Says, or Bleep My Dad Says, was an American multi-camera sitcom that aired on CBS between September 23rd, 2010 and October 17th, 2011. The show was based on the Twitter page Shit My Dad Says, which hasn't posted since May 9th, 2017 at 5:29 p.m. The show was created by David Cohen, Max Muchnick, Jason Halpern, who ran the Twitter account, and Patrick Shoemaker. David Cohen and Max Muchnick both created Will and Grace. So, and that show, from my knowledge, went on for a little while. It was based on the Twitter page made by Halpern, who posted stuff about his dad Sam and what he would say. It stars William Shatner, Jonathan Sadowski, William Sasso, Nicole Sullivan, and Tim Bagley. Its opening theme is Your Dogs by Ben Folds. The composer of the background and intertitle music is Paul Buckley, and its executive producers were David Cohen and Max Muchnick. The 18 episodes ran about 21 minutes each. Production companies that worked on the show were Coma Entertainment, Bonanza Productions, and mainly Warner Brothers Television. The episodes aired on Thursdays at 8:30, 7:30 Central, which was the time slot right before CSI. After all the episodes finished in 2011, CBS started airing new episodes of the sitcom Rules of Engagement in the 8:30 time slot. And CBS officially canceled Shit My Dad Says on May 15th, 2011. Okay, the cast. I think I should talk about it. William Shatner, Mr. Tambourine Man himself, plays Dr. Edison Milford Ed Goodson III, a doctor who's described as saying the wrong thing at the right time in the trailer. Jonathan Sadowski and Will Sasso play Ed's sons, Henry and Vince Goodson. Ryan Devlin was originally cast as Henry and played him in the pitch pilot. Nicole Sullivan plays Bonnie Goodson, Vince's wife. On Monday, November 9th, 2009, CBS announced that they were making a pilot for the show. I came to the conclusion that they announced it on November 9th, 2009, because both the Hollywood Reporter and Variety, the two sources on Wikipedia, both published articles about the announcement on that day. In 2010, William Shatner was cast as the lead role, leading CBS to greenlight the pilot. Almost said pirate. Nicole Sullivan, Ryan Devlin, and Will Sasso were cast in March. Both Sasso and Sullivan had previously worked together on Mad TV. The series was officially picked up by CBS in May 2010. In July 2010, the role of Henry was recast with Jonathan Sadowski taking over the part. A character named Sam, who was portrayed by Stephanie Lemelin in the pitch pilot, was ultimately scrapped and never appeared in the series. Time for the general plot synopsis of the series. IMDb succinctly describes the show as a middle-aged son moves in with his old-fashioned dad. Even though I think the son is not middle-aged, he looks more like he's in his early 30s. And we can get a little less succinct than IMDb gets. So, in the series, 72-year-old triple divorcee Ed Goodson, portrayed by a then 79-year-old William Shatner, he's in his 90s now, by the way, is a highly opinionated, old-fashioned man living in San Diego, California. I even saw him described as foul-mouthed, even though I watched like 2 or 3 episodes and he wasn't that foul-mouthed. According to the information from the Wikipedia page, they don't cite their sources, so source bro, trust me. He is also known for his strong opinions and tendency to embark on unsolicited and often politically incorrect rants. He is a Vietnam War vet who served in the Navy. When his son Henry loses his job, he moves in with Ed, putting a strain on their father-son relationship. As weeks go by, Henry finds himself in a job interview, only to be interrupted by Dad's. As weeks go by, Henry finds himself in a job interview, only to be interrupted by Ed's irrational phone call. Surprisingly, the interviewer is intrigued. However, Henry gets hired, but decides to continue living with Ed, hoping to have unlimited access to Ed's rants. Now I'm going to go over the episodes one by one. Don't worry, this is not going to be some sort of Quent Reviews 7.5 hour long dissection. So I'm just going to say the episode number, its title, and a short description. And all these descriptions are straight off IMDb. So episode 1, Pilot. After being laid off from his job writing for a men's magazine, Henry moves in with his cranky, outspoken father, Ed. Episode 2, Why Fight? Henry takes matters into his own hands when Ed refuses to allow a wireless internet connection to be installed in the house. Meanwhile, Vince convinces Bonnie to allow Ed, a retired doctor, to examine her breasts. Episode 3, The Truth About Dads and Moms. Still resentful that his father didn't take responsibility for his parents' divorce years ago, Henry is outraged when Ed refuses to be blamed for getting a DMV employee fired. Episode 4, Code Ed. Ed tries to save Henry from the embarrassment of being rejected while they are on a double date. Meanwhile, Vince and Bonnie come up with an ad campaign for their real estate business. Episode 5, Not Without My Jacket. Ed tries to teach Henry a lesson about borrowing his clothes. However, his plan backfires when he inadvertently lends Henry's jacket to a friend. Meanwhile, Vince regrets asking Bonnie to tell him all the juicy details about a previous relationship. Episode 6, Easy Rider. Ed tries to put the kibosh on an article Henry writes about him. Meanwhile, Vince and Bonnie befriend the it couple of the high-end San Diego real estate market. Episode 7, Dogged Pursuit. Vince is jealous when Ed bonds with his dog. Meanwhile, Henry agrees to go on a date with Katie, Vince and Bonnie's crazy boss, to get them a real estate listing. Episode 8, The Manly Thing to Do. Ed's Navy buddy comes to visit and ends up insulting Tim. That's the DMV guy. Ed's housekeeper. Meanwhile, Henry accidentally sees Bonnie
Naked.
Episode 9, Make a Wish. Bonnie and Vince make a risky career move after seeing a life coach, and when a furious Ed confronts the motivational speaker, his heart gets some romantic motivation. Episode 10, You Can't Handle the Truce. Henry tries to broker a truce between Ed and his neighbor after discovering they are having a long-standing feud. Meanwhile, Vince and Bonnie have trouble adopting a dog. Episode 11, Family Dinner for Schmucks. Bonnie tries to start a tradition of family dinners, but it makes the men lose their appetites. Also, Ed befriends a new hotshot doctor at the hospital and wishes Henry could be more like him. Episode 12, Goodson Goes Deep. Ed gets thrown a curveball when baseball memorabilia that he wants is sold to someone else. Also, after Vince and Bonnie's new living situation with Ed and Henry, their baby-making efforts more work than romance. Episode 13, The Better Father. When Bonnie and Vince learn that their first wedding isn't legal, they plan a new ceremony, but Ed wants to break up with them when he finds out that Bonnie's father is coming. Episode 14, Corn Star.
She's a corn star.
When the Homeowners Association president complains that the corn stalks in Ed's garden are too tall, Ed harnesses his anger by running for president himself. Also, Vince is torn when he gets propositioned by his secret celebrity crush. Episode 15, Ed Goes to Court. Ed wants to put the brakes on his pursuit of Rosemary after she says she would like to be romanced. Also, Vince and Henry have a stash off to see who can grow a mustache faster. Okay, I've only watched like 2 episodes, but I'm pretty sure that Rosemary is the person in that life coach episode. Episode 16, Well Suited. Ed turns green with envy when a millionaire vies for Rosemary's affection. Also, Bonnie and Vince's former boss tries to make amends with an egg-centric gift. Episode 17, Lock and Load. With a burglar on the loose in their neighborhood, Ed wants to use his prized gun for protection, but Rosemary shoots down the idea. Also, Vince and Bonnie look for some extra help during their trip to a fertility clinic. Episode 18, Who's Your Daddy? Ed's status changes to confused when he meets Henry's new Facebook girlfriend and senses a strange connection to her. Also, Bonnie and Vince join a reality television series when they help a reality star go house hunting. Shit My Dad Says has received negative reviews from critics. On Metacritic, it has a score of 28 out of 100, while on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 0% based on 26 critic reviews. Critics conclude that Shit My Dad Says features childish jokes, abysmal writing, and the half-baked stunt casting of William Shatner. As of February 20th, 2024, the show has garnered 6.2 stars from 5,200 reviews on IMDb. The show's episodes never dropped below 8 million viewers. The series clinched the title of Favorite New TV Comedy at the 37th People's Choice Awards, held on January 5th, 2011. I watched a few episodes on Dailymotion and it seemed fine to me. There was some slight controversy around the use of the word shit in the title. First off, it had to get censored to comply with the FCC's regulations on the use of profane language during prime time. CBS announced the official name on May 19th, 2010. They assured reporters that the expletive would not be used in the promos. And that's why you hear the guy in the trailer say, "Bleep My Dad Says." Soon after, the Parents Television Council, or PTC, announced that it would be protesting the title because of the alluded profanity. Because who is gonna think of the children? The PTC threatened CBS with potential broadcast license challenges if any affiliate aired the show or its promos before 10 p.m. In response to this controversy, CBS stated, "The show will in no way be indecent and will adhere to all CBS standards. Parents who choose to do so will find the show can easily be blocked using their V-chip." Bill Gorman from TV by the Numbers wrote that the protest will give the show more publicity, which would boost ratings. Shatner commented on the show's title by saying, "We say spit, why can't we say shit?" On the 2010 Television Critics Association press tour, he also stated, "The word shit is around us. It isn't a terrible term, it is a natural function. Why are we pussyfooting?" Props to the guy for using the term pussyfooting. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. This is my first time breaking the alphabetical order I've been keeping. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you made it this far, comment, Dave Norton is bae. The next video is about the 3DO. You can trust me this time. It will be about the 3DO. If there's anything I can improve, you can also comment that down below. See you next time, and remember to bench press an earth mover tire.